the project was necessary, even the concept of the project, because it's still ongoing. Because what it does is that it creates this platform, this database for volunteers to be registered online. So you have the skill sets, you have the various trainings and expertise that these volunteers has, so we can draw upon the volunteers in any emergency, any localized situations that we may have. Another good thing about this project is that, we are different, we have different municipalities, we have different parishes, and across the borders of some of these parishes, we may have an event and we can just draw upon volunteers in a neighboring parish with respective skill sets. So I think it creates that good database so that we can use the various expertise. The volunteers welcome the program. More than anything else, some of them expressed that this program gave them it legitimized them, because they received an ID, an identification card stating that they are part of a national body. So it gave them some amount of esteem, some prestige and pride. The trainings they received, it was welcoming. They got trainings that they would have otherwise have to pay for, and they got recognition in their respective communities to state that these persons are trained as disaster risk managers in their own rights. So it was very timely and welcoming by the volunteers. Some persons were trained as shelter managers, first aiders, damage assessors. I think they were trained in psychosocial support and a whole suite of training. And the fact is that one set has been trained and the training is ongoing. We have another set of training for my region, my parish, later on this year. I think it's sometime in May or April. So it's an ongoing training exercise. For sustainability of a project like this is very important. I think for my parish, and I hope that it will be replicated nationally, is that we have planned a training of trainer session. So we look at some of these volunteers with specific skill sets and the ability to replicate these trainings so that it's continuous. Also, I have even expressed with some of my other coordinators to perhaps look at projects, donor funding that can continue to train these persons in years to come. For example, the first aid and CPR training, after 2 years, you'll need a refresher course. So we have to look at getting funding, even from our government, to reserve some amount of funding for the sustainability of this initiative, because it is very important that we have volunteers, because in any kind of emergency, any kind of disaster or situation, we can't rely on just national resources. We need these human resources to aid in managing and responding to some of these disasters that we may have.
The volunteer program, which was initiated through ADPEM and the CDMAN partnership, was timely because it is necessary, because persons have always wanted to volunteer and some of them, they were not trained. So this program provided an avenue to have persons trained and have a better understanding of what disaster management really entails. When persons were approached to become a part of this program, they readily accepted, because being a volunteer means a lot to persons. So they willingly signed up and was ready to be a part of the program, especially when they were told that training and equipment would be a part of the outcome of this training. in order to sustain this program, what we in St. Catherine have decided to do is to, because persons were trained in shelter management, and that is one of the areas where we have a lot of persons coming forward to volunteer to assist. So we intend to recruit these persons to be a part of the shelter program across the parish. And we have started to approach them, and they are willing and ready to utilize the information that was imparted to them during the training sessions. Because of the location and how the terrain is within the parish, persons, and because there was really no benefit of such being offered to these persons, we had a lack of, we had problems getting persons to come forward. But being told that they would get IDs and a lot of other things to ensure that, yes, because persons want to give back to the parish and to the country. So we weren't able to offer these things to them as a corporation, but the partnership provided an avenue for these persons to be rewarded, not monetary, but with the information and other little things that was provided through this program. Persons willingly volunteer because people want to serve.
Yes, it was indeed necessary because persons want to give of their time and their efforts. They just need a little padding and a little structure in doing so. I have benefited greatly in terms of the skills and knowledge gained, and it was presented in a way that I am able to impart it to other young persons and other persons within my community. They now know that I have these skill sets, and so they can call on me at different times for different things. As it relates to the parish, it is indeed a plus because the more volunteers you have, you can't have too many volunteers for the parish in terms of the need that's there. So having these persons trained will indeed be a plus for the parish. We learned first aid, such as to assist persons who might be injured. Injuries include spinal injury, head injury, stuff like that. Choking, fire safety tips, so you're able to utilize the fire extinguisher for different types of fires, etc., etc.